everyone, today I am going to do a video about my semi-hydro plant care routine. So on this channel I have a plant care routine where I have all of my plants in soil. I figured I would just do an update. If you're watching this video right now, I'm assuming that you already watched my first two videos about semi-hydro. So the first one about the basics of semi-hydro with houseplants, and then the second one about the nutrients and the pH. So this is going to be a continuation of that, and I have these clips from a few weeks ago, but I haven't had the chance to do the commentary for it, so that's what I'm doing today. I'm showing you with all of my trailing plants, but I basically do the same for all of the plants that I have in semi-hydro. First, I'm just taking out the pot here, and if you're looking at the nursery pot, you can actually see where the water line is. I also wanted to emphasize that because I have been seeing some pictures of people who are doing semi-hydro, but they either have the water all the way up to the top or even past where the leca is. Semi-hydro works through capillary action, so that's why I don't have my water going up so far. And now I'm just showing you the efflorescence. So that is the salt and mineral buildup that you'll see on this white layer on top of the leca. That's why I am doing a flush every 2 weeks. I'm also showing here that the roots have grown to the bottom. They're used to being that way and growing down that way. It's not going to cause any root rot. I'm showing you with my Cebu Blue that it is also growing some roots down into the water reservoir, and I left it like that for a couple weeks because I was honestly too lazy to get to it and there was no root rot. But the white roots here, you can see the older roots, there's still some soil on it, and I do my best to take all of the soil off before I pot it up, but sometimes I can't get all of it off, and I just kind of keep an eye on it when I first transition it. I am only repotting it in this case because the roots have grown down into the reservoir, and I don't do this every time. I don't check the roots of my plants every single time unless it's a plant that I happen to be worried about, but I haven't done that for anything other than my Monstera deliciosa. Here I am potting it up again. I'm not precise. I have the nursery pot, throw a layer of leca in the bottom. I put the plant in, and I am just throwing in more of the leca around it and shaking as I go. I don't soak my leca prior to potting up any of my plants, and they're all doing very well. So that's just me. Do what you want. I have my sink plugged and I am hosing everything down. This is after I had already repotted the plants as I showed you. This flush is basically to get rid of all the mineral and salt buildup. With that, it's going to start to affect your plant's ability to accept the nutrients from your water reservoir. So as your plants are sitting in their reservoirs and it's been a couple weeks, the pH is going to start to climb. I've started to lower my nutrient pH below 6. So in the video I said most houseplants are happy in a pH of 6. That's ideal for most houseplants to grow. But if you start at a pH of 6, then it's going to start climbing from there, which is fine. But I have been experimenting with that after talking to Nige. So I'm starting my pH now around 5.5. So I think that equates for me to be 35 drops of pH down. And from there, it starts to climb. And when I check the water reservoirs after the plants have been sitting in it for about 2 weeks, it comes up to around 7 instead of around 8 when I was starting my pH at 6. I have already mixed the nutrients in this. If you don't know how to mix your nutrients and everything, then I would go to my nutrient and pH video. I am now up to about 2 milliliters of each nutrient in the series. So the Flora Micro, Flora Bloom, and Flora Grow. So I am doing 2 milliliters each of all of that and mixed all together. And this is me replacing the nutrient reservoir. So I am just holding it over the cash pot and I am pouring my nutrient water over it, making sure the water level is around 1/3. I don't go any higher than that because, again, capillary action, that's what semi-hydro does. So that's pretty much my routine now. So that's the flush day, bringing everything to the sink, flushing through, and then replacing all the nutrient water. This happens around every 2 weeks with a pH coming back up to 7 from around 5.5. Expect your pH to climb as it sits with your plants. And in between every 2 weeks, I'm filling up with pH adjusted water alone without nutrients. So just topping off. If I notice the water level coming down here, then I'll just fill it back up with some water. A lot of what I have learned is through research, through collaborating with some of my other plant friends who do semi-hydro, and also from experimentation. I read things like you have to soak your leca for 24 hours. What happens if I don't? And then I end up just doing that and it works out and then I just go with it. Everyone who does semi-hydro, I think, does something a little bit different in their techniques, but overall, it's pretty much the same concept. I think if you're watching a lot of people talk about semi-hydro and trying to learn from a lot of people, it's important to pick what works for you. Take what you want from the videos is what I'm trying to say, and experiment to figure out what works for you. Okay, that's gonna be it for this video. I hope it was helpful. Thanks for watching. Bye!